What is going on, bro? Welcome to the coffee show. You like that?
Yeah.
Kevin wanted me to say the coffee show today. Welcome to the video. Now, I'm curious. Are y'all sick and tired of hearing these terms like alpha male, beta male, sigma male, high value man, low value man, simp, cuck, all of these male self-improvement terms? Because I'm kind of getting tired of it, man. And I know it's in the title of this video, but give me a second. Like, what does all of this shit even mean, bro? I mean, if we picture the typical high-value alpha male, I think we all think of a guy with a really expensive car. He's probably dating a hot girl. He's got a bunch of money. But this is all surface-level things. And I started to think, like, what really makes a man high-value beneath the surface? Because I've met people who have some of that surface-level success, but they're clearly low-value people. I've met people who are on the come-up and don't have the surface-level things yet, but they're clearly high-value men, right? So I put together this test today, a 3-part test that we're going to go through to determine, right now, are you a high-value man or a low-value man? And if you fail any of these tests, we're going to talk about the next steps you should take to improve in that area. Let's get started. All right, I'm gonna run through a couple quick scenarios and I want you to think about how you would respond. So first of all, let's say there's a girl you're hanging out with, maybe even dating her for a little bit, and there's this guy that from time to time she hangs out with and it's just like an old friend, right? What do you do in that scenario? Or let's say that you're getting serious about your training and your nutrition and you're really, sticking to your calories each day, and then you're hanging out with a friend or a family member and they're trying to get you to like eat a big burger with them or skip the gym, and they're like, come on, man, relax. Like, you don't have to be so strict about this. Like, loosen up a little bit. So every relationship you have in your life, it can be represented by a bottle, or in this case, a coffee cup, because it's the coffee show today, right? And whenever something happens between you and that other person that's like a little bit uncomfortable to talk about, it gets thrown in the bottle. And then if you talk about it ever, well, it comes back out of the bottle, right? I can tell you that I used to be the type of person who would always, man, I'd fill my bottles up, man. I'd be fucking stacking bottles on bottles. If my boss asked me to work one weekend and I really didn't feel like doing it, I'd be like, this is gonna be a weird conversation to have. I'll just put it in the bottle. If there was a girl who I liked and I wanted to talk to, I'd be like, nah, this isn't the right opportunity. I'll do it next time I see her maybe. For now, I'm just gonna throw it in the bottle. And if that's how you would respond to the scenarios at the beginning, that, I'm not gonna have the conversation yet, I'm gonna have it, I just need to think about it a little bit more first. I hate to break it to you, but that's a low value tendency. You fail the test because you start to have all these bottles that you've accumulated, and then it leads to all of this negative self-talk. Like, what am I gonna tell my girl that that's not okay? What am I gonna tell my boss to cut the shit? And it can just lead to a lot of anxiety and depression. And that's all gonna make it very tough to be happy. It's also gonna make it tough to stay focused on your goals and keep taking action. It's a big distraction, right? And that's why I created a rule for myself. I call it the empty rule, where whenever there's anything in my bottle, immediately I have to empty it out, even if it doesn't seem like a big deal. And I can tell you that's when I got good with girls, so to speak, because whenever there was a girl who I noticed, who I'd wanna hang out with, immediately I'd go up to her and be like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, do you want to hang out sometime? I think you're a cool girl. Because if she says yes, well, that's great. The bottle's empty. I got a date set up. But if she says no, even better, man. Because guess what? I can throw that bottle off on the side of the road, let it smash. I don't have to think about that anymore. And this doesn't just apply to girls. Like a recent example in my life, I'm starting a supplement brand, you guys know. And as part of that, I have a supplement sponsor for the last few years, Transparent Labs, and I had to let them know about this. And at first I was like, well, I can put this off for a few months. Like the brand's not launching yet. But then I was like, gotta empty my bottle, bro. So I called up the Transparent Lab CEO. He's a great guy. And I was like, hey, man, I just want to let you know about this as soon as possible. Conversation went great. It actually led to an opportunity I wasn't even aware of. And the best part is I wasn't weighed down worrying about having this conversation for the next few months. And that's the whole beauty of doing this. You're able to have the conversations with a lot more calm confidence and just be like, hey, this isn't a big deal. Just want to let you know about this. Whereas the low value man, he builds it up in his head over weeks and months. And by the time he asks the girl out, he's shaking. He's like, I just wanted to ask you out real quick. And it doesn't go well. You go into your boss's office and you're so passive aggressive and butthurt that it never ends well. YouTube is not complicated, bro. You get some cool drone shots, you get a big skid on the bike, and people are entertained. You know, speaking of things that aren't really complicated, I want to say thank you to Tej Hanley for being the sponsor of today's video. In case you're not aware, Tej Hanley is straight up the best skincare system out there for men because, like they say, it is uncomplicated. It's simple, it's easy to use, it actually works. If you sign up, they're gonna send you a box just like this one right here that contains a variety of different creams and lotions they have formulated specifically to work together as a system to give you clear, healthy skin that's gonna make you look better. And when you look better, that boosts your confidence. For example, you're gonna get their daily face wash. I use this every day. You're gonna get their AM moisturizer for the morning with sun protection. You get the PM moisturizer for nighttime. And the best part is all of this is made from top of the line ingredients like collagen, vitamin B3, eucalyptus, which would normally cost you a lot. But because Tej Hanley sells directly to the consumer, you're able to get it for an affordable price. And because they're sponsoring today's video, you know that they're hooking it up. If you click that first link down in description, you're gonna get the best possible deal on your first box of Tej Hanley, and they're even gonna throw in a free gift. What are you waiting for, bro? Click that link, take your skincare to the next level. All right, test 2, I got a couple more scenarios for you. So first of all, let's say you wanna meet some more girls, so you download a dating app. Maybe it's Tinder, Bumble, or Hinge, and you're not getting that many matches at first. What do? Second scenario, you decide you want to start your own YouTube channel. I know a lot of y'all watch a lot of YouTube. You have aspirations of starting your own channel. What do you do next? And don't tell me like what you think you should do. What do you actually do? What are the next steps you take? Well, these are both scenarios that I've been in back in my past. And I can tell you with YouTube, I was writing a blog, howtobeast.com, and I wanted to start making YouTube videos for like 2 or 3 years before I actually did it because I was like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna be comfortable in front of a camera, and then also I should probably buy a better camera, right? I don't even have a good camera, then they're so expensive, and some of them you need to put a lens on it and a microphone, and I don't wanna waste money on the wrong one. Or back in my early online dating days, wasn't getting matches, got frustrated, did some research, realized I need better photos. Like, that's the only thing that matters, right? But it's kind of awkward to ask other people for help with like your Tinder photos. I didn't know any photographers, I didn't have a camera. And I was like, you know what, I guess Tinder is just not for me. I guess YouTube's just not for me. And if you have the same tendency, chances are you're a low value man. Because realize this, you're never going to grow beyond where you are now unless you start to take steps that you have not yet taken in the past. And by definition, you don't fully understand these steps yet. But if you're always gonna be overwhelmed and not capable of taking them, well then you're gonna stay where you are now for the rest of your life. But ready, here's the mental trick that helps me get past this. I realized if there's a bunch of extra steps, that means most other guys aren't gonna take them. Most guys aren't gonna take the steps to get better photos of themselves for their Tinder profile, but I am, and that means I'm gonna get all the matches. Most other people trying to start a YouTube channel aren't gonna take the time to understand, you know, aperture and ISO and shutter speed and understand the difference between the different cameras, but I'm gonna take the time to figure that shit out, and because of that, my videos are gonna look so much better than the other guys. You have to get excited by the extra steps, bro. The more extra steps there are, the less people who are gonna take them. You know, the Beastly app's a great example of this. I wanted to create an app that had functionality that no other app on the market had, like automatic progressive overload. And guess what? It took me a long time even to find a developer who was capable of this, and then I had to put, you know, invest a lot of money, wait a lot of time for it to be done. There was a shit ton of extra steps, but because of them, we have over 50,000 guys who've downloaded the app. If you've used it, you know how head and shoulders above every other app out there it is and how easy it makes your fitness journey. Like, what is something you're trying to accomplish now that you haven't accomplished in the past? And what are all the extra steps you need to take to get it done? Be happy, embrace those steps, take your time with them, and you'll be paid off because of it.
Yes, bro.
Workout complete. We went to a little different gym today. How'd you like it?
It's really good. It's really good. Kind of loud, but
It's loud in the bathrooms. Are like, you want to go outside to use the bathroom? What do you want to eat for the post-workout gains?
tacos.
I'm actually not eating tacos anymore. I'm done. Retired from tacos. Said nobody ever. Let's get these tacos. So this spot is called Tacos Guerrero, and I have high expectations because one, I had to order in Spanish, and 2, I had to pay with cash. And I feel like those are indicators of an authentic taco spot. What do you think? This is the steak fajita, like the carne asada. I'm gonna say 6.5 out of 10. The meat was like very dry and chewy. Oh boy, it's been a minute since my back flips. How's my form on that? Hopefully better than those 6.5 out of 10 tacos. Let's talk about part 3 of the test. All right, so I want you to think, who is your inner circle in life? Like, who are the people you surround yourself with? And if you're going through a tough time, you can talk to them to get support, to get something off your chest. If you have a tough challenge, you can get feedback and advice from them. Now, if you can't think of anyone, that's gonna be a failed test because, you know, humans, we need support in our dark times. And not to mention, we have so many blind spots and we give ourselves the worst advice a lot. Like, how many times have you had a friend, or maybe you've been in the situation before, you're clearly in a toxic relationship, or your friend is, or this girl's taking advantage of him and obviously he needs to walk away, but he's like, nah man, you don't understand, it's different with us. Like, I've been that guy before. We need people to see those blind spots for us. But even if you have a circle, it still might be a failed test. You know, I can tell you back after I graduated, I was working my first job, when I decided, like, you know, I want more out of life. I don't want to just keep following the path of least resistance that I'm on and just go down this career I'm not interested in. I want more out of life. At that point in time, my circle consisted of friends from college or high school who I loved to hang out with and I laughed with, and they're awesome guys, but they hadn't made the same mindset shift of wanting to improve their lives. And because of that, I didn't have anyone to challenge me, but also, like, when I'd be really excited about, you know, I'm going to start my YouTube channel, I'd get a lot of comments that were not intentionally negative, but they were kind of like negative, like, do you really think that's a good idea? Like, that seems like a risk maybe you shouldn't take, man. I don't think that's going to work out. And it's not that they wanted to put me down, but it's in their mind, they didn't want to take a risk like that. So obviously that's the advice they'd give. So little by little, I started to kind of manufacture my own circle. At first, I started watching a lot of YouTube videos from guys who I looked up to. I used to watch Elliot Hulse videos every single day. I'd rewatch his old videos all the time too, just to ingrain these ideas he was talking about into my head, because I wasn't hearing them anywhere else in my life. I was straight up devouring self-improvement books. I'll link in my description my top self-improvement books that had the biggest impact on my life, but the same thing, just to really get more of these ideas into my head, so I started thinking the right way. And at the time, I didn't personally know any super successful guys, but I had that howtobeast.com blog that I was trying to grow, so I started reaching out to other bloggers who were small but writing similar type of content, and a lot of these guys, we started to have like Skype calls every week or every other week, just so we could bounce ideas off of each other's head. And all of a sudden I had my own circle, and it wasn't because I met some successful people in person. No man, like I said, I kind of manufactured it. You know, if you're trying to do YouTube, reach out to other smaller YouTubers so you guys can grow together. Or same thing, you can find people on Instagram who are trying to do a similar thing to you. Build your own circle, because without that, you know, there's no chance I would have gotten to where I am today. Like, I couldn't have done this all without any support. I hope that all of that made sense. Bro, if you're still watching the video, smash that thumbs up button. Seriously, it helps the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome to How to Beast. Click subscribe and turn notifications on, because I drop 2 new videos every single week and you don't want to miss them. I will talk to all of y'all in the next video. Stay beastly.